No gold is not enough.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Geek-A-Tech. I would like to thank you to all my viewers and my subscribers who like my videos. Thank you very much for your support. If you are new to my channel, please do like, share, and subscribe my channel for new updates on software testing tools, technology, certifications. So friends, till now we have discussed about the different kind of testing frameworks. We talked about different kinds of testing. We talked about API testing. We talked about BDD frameworks, and we talked about the BDD approach of testing. We talked about what does a BDD means in software world. Today we are going to talk about a little bit different. Okay, it's related to software testing, but along with this, it's related to development part also. So today we are going to talk about TypeScript, a new way to write code. So friends, today as we are going to talk about TypeScript, so it's not a very old language to write the code. Okay, in our introduction phase and in other phases, we will identify what is TypeScript and what are the characteristics of TypeScript, and many more kind of details we will identify. Uh, Before starting that, I just want to highlight one thing, that this is not a tutorial on TypeScript. We are just going through the TypeScript characteristics and everything, and I will provide the review and its pros and cons, and a discussion kind of thing for the TypeScript. So let's start with the TypeScript. So this is our agenda for today. First, we will talk about the commencement of TypeScript, the introduction. Then we will talk about the flow of TypeScript, how TypeScript works. Then we will talk about features, why we use TypeScript, what kind of features TypeScript provides. Then we will talk about pros and cons. The last but not the least, the alternatives. What are the alternative tools available, or the alternative languages available for the TypeScript? So TypeScript is not only we use for development. We also use for the automation purpose also, as for the Angular applications we are using Protractor to automate them. And when we write the code in Protractor, there are two things which is available. One is JavaScript and another one is TypeScript. So we will see how TypeScript is beneficial for any automation tester who is automating his Angular based applications. So before going to automate the Angular based applications, if he wants to use Protector, or he wants to think that what language I should use for automating these applications which are based on TypeScript only, or which are based on Angular, so he also should go through these details, so he can identify that what is the pros and cons, and how it's beneficial for using, what are the benefits of using the TypeScript. So as a part of introduction, the TypeScript is an open source, okay, and it's an object-oriented language developed by Microsoft. The TypeScript is launched around October 2012 with version 0.8. The latest version is released in August 2020 with 4.0 version. It's a superset of JavaScript that compiles to plain JavaScript. Okay, it provides .ts class in which we write the code, and when we compile it, it converts it into the JavaScript. So as a part of the popularity of TypeScript, we can see over here that the TypeScript is tied with the Python with the same percentage. That this survey is done by the Stack Overflow, and they have shared the details that what languages are very popular for front-end development. So on that, the TypeScript on the second place, along with the Python, as a part of popularity acceptance. And here you can see the Git commits of the TypeScript, the node details which has been downloaded from the GitHub. So this is the data provided by the TypeScript for last 2 years, that how much acceptance has been increased in the market for TypeScript. When they talked about the development of a Angular-based application, then they use TypeScript mainly, and as a part of automation framework also. When they use the same kind of code for automation, so they also use TypeScript. So these are the Git downloads, which shows that the popularity of TypeScript. How does a TypeScript works? So TypeScript is written a file in .txt extension file, which compiled into JavaScript using the TypeScript compiler. So a TypeScript file name can be written in any code editor. Basically, we can use any editor, but Visual Code is very good editor for it, which we can use for writing the code of in TypeScript. So a TypeScript compiler needs to be installed on your platform. Once it's installed, the tsc file.ts compiles the TypeScript code and it converts it into the JavaScript file. Okay, and the JavaScript file which can be used in any HTML or which can be run on any browser. So this is all happens. So what it will do, a sample TS file is there, okay, in which we wrote our all the code. Then our compiler, the TypeScript compiler, compiles it and convert it into a JS part in the JS format, and this JS file will be used in the further in our HTML or any kind of browser. So it's a superset which is written over the JavaScript. So when we write the code in TypeScript, it compiles and changes it to the JavaScript. So this is a example of the syntax of TypeScript. Okay, the class mentioned over here, it says the definition of the declaration of the variables, how a constructor has been created. Okay, so this is how the default methods, the system methods like date functions we can use. Okay, so these all are these part of the syntax, and this is very much, if you can see that you can find it more familiar to Java. It's not exactly the Java, but yes, you can find it that in Java we declare the variables, how we construct the constructor in Java. So we can find that it's all kind of similar things. It's not too new for any Java developer. Yeah, its syntax are a little bit different, but yes, if you are good with Java, then it's easy for you to understand the TypeScript. Now let's talk about the features of TypeScript. Okay, what features TypeScript provides us, then why we use TypeScript. As we know that JavaScript does not support any object-oriented features, so it's quite difficult for us for maintaining the code or for using the objects or for creating the objects. And it is not easy to use the JavaScript to build a complex application. For small applications, JavaScript is good, but when we want to create a complex application, then it's very difficult in JavaScript when the larger teams work on the same code. So the type system increase the code quality. Okay, the TypeScript increase the code quality, the readability, and makes it easy to maintain and refactor, and it's become a very easy to refactor the code also. Most important thing is that the errors can directly caught on the compiler time, okay, rather than the runtime. So it's a very good thing. So let's see what are the features provided by the TypeScript. First is the cross-platform. TypeScript can run on any platform that JavaScript runs. Okay, so TypeScript compilers can be installed on any operating system like Mac OS, Windows, Linux. It doesn't have any boundaries or limitations in such a part. Object-oriented language. TypeScript provide the powerful features of object-oriented, like classes, interfaces. Okay. Static type checking. So TypeScript uses the static typing. So it's a very good thing that this is done using the type annotations, that at the time of compile time we can identify the errors, which will be very helpful for any developer or any automation developer, any automation tester, so they can identify the issues at the compile time, so they can save their time and they can improve their code. Optional static typing. So TypeScript static typing, which is provided by TypeScript, is an optional. If you prefer JavaScript dynamic typing, then it's also supported in TypeScript. Then DOM manipulations like JavaScript, TypeScript is also provide the manipulation with the DOM. ES6 features, TypeScript will include most of the features planned in ECMAScript 2015, such as classes, interfaces, and arrows. So those all the things is supported by TypeScript. So there are a couple of features which are provided by TypeScript as a part of object-oriented programming. So here you can see that TypeScript provides interfaces. It supports classes, enums, generics, inheritance, abstract class and methods, access control. So these all object-oriented features are also supported in Java, as we know that how Java becomes very useful and very easy for a developer when these all the features supported. Okay, as the TypeScript also supports the same features, so now TypeScript become more and more easy, more easy to understand, more easy to implement, and more easy to maintain, as it provides the OOPS concepts. Okay, it supports the OOPS concept, so it's a very good thing, and these all things were missed in JavaScript. So while creating the complex applications, as we know that these OOPS concepts is very required, very much required for us, which makes our ability quite easy to develop anything. It helps in to develop the application easy and faster, and it also helps the code reusability also. Now let's talk about some pros and cons, the advantages and limitations of TypeScript. So as a part of pros, TypeScript is an open source language, which is very good thing, as we don't need any kind of license for that. Okay, TypeScript runs on any browser or any JavaScript engine, so it is not limited to any particular browser, that it will support only Firefox, or it will support only Chrome, it will not support IE. So it supports every browser, so it's a very good thing. As a part of limitations, the TypeScripts can take long time to compile the code, because TypeScripts compile the code, change it to the JavaScript, so it's take a little bit more time than the normal Java code, if you want to compare it with that. Okay, or if we want to compare it with JavaScript, the TypeScript has taking a little more time. Whenever TypeScript needs to run in a browser, there must still be a compilation step to transfer the TS to JS. Okay, so same thing. This is pretty much required in TypeScript to change the the TypeScript file into JavaScript file. So, another pros and cons. TypeScript is also closer in syntax to backend languages like Java, Scala, so it helps the backend developers to write the front-end code faster. So if you are a backend developer, it's very good to adapt, or it is easily adaptable for the backend developers for writing the TypeScript, as we know that as a part of automation, if I'm an automation engineer, if I'm an automation tester, till now I was using Java for my automation code. Okay, I am using Selenium, I am using core Java for writing the code. So now if I want to automate any Angular based application, so I can do it by Protector, by writing the TypeScript. So I don't have higher learning curve. Okay, I can learn it quickly, because it supports the OOPS concepts. Its syntax is quite closer to Java. Then TypeScript has easy integration, task runner tools like Grunt and Gulp. Okay, the another limitations is that when we use a third-party library, there needs to be a definition file, or sometimes it's not available for the integration. The additional annotations like TS files make larger than those written in 10JS. So there are a couple of alternatives. The alternatives of TypeScript is also available in market if we want to use. If we are not comfortable with the TypeScript, there are other options also available. One is ELM, then Dart, Flu, Babel. So there are more alternatives. Personally, as what my experience is with TypeScript, that it's a very good language. Yeah, has a slight learning curve. If you are not new in the language adaptation, if you are not new, if you have already used Java, or you are comfortable with core Java, then it's very good to learn the TypeScript. You can learn TypeScript fast. We can understand the code easily because syntax is quite closer to the Java. So this is all about the TypeScript. So today we talked about TypeScript specifically because it is useful for both the developers as well as testers. Nowadays, new frameworks are coming in the market because mainly now the web-based applications are getting developed in Angular. So the Angular applications are mainly developed in TypeScript. So today we discuss about it, and it's very useful for a developer as well as for the automation tester also. So thank you for your time. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press notification bell. Thank you.